Now the guy who started running during a traffic stop, just like Forrest Gump.
Clever tricks, bold stunts, or just sheer luck, sometimes criminals manage to trick the authorities. From daring escapes under closing garage doors to wild pursuits, leaving cops eating dust, get ready to witness jaw-dropping moments of criminals outplaying police in ways you won't believe. Number 1. Stunt. The daredevil dirt bikers were attempting to jump over the railroad tracks. After one biker had an accident, the police tried to put a stop to these dangerously illegal stunts and apprehend anyone attempting them. But when they arrived to block off one guy, he dodges the police cruiser and makes the perfect jump over the tracks. With the biker on the other side, the cops have no chance of catching him anytime soon. Number 2. GTA escape. When this couple's car bites the dust during a police chase, they decide it's time for a GTA moment. They jack a truck, push the pedal to the metal, and hit over 100 miles per hour. Then, in a Hollywood-style twist, they take a sharp turn and the truck goes airborne, crashing into the desert with dirt flying everywhere. The couple gets out and shares a big hug, embracing their future in jail. Nope. As the cop gets closer, the girl surrenders, but the guy bolts. While the officers are busy with her, he races back to the highway, finds an unattended police car with the keys inside, and zooms off. Another police car drives by right in front of the cop cruiser commandeered by the suspect, oblivious, heading to the off-road scene. Talk about a great sacrifice to execute a dramatic escape. Number 3. Spider-Man. With skills like Spider-Man, you don't stay in prison for long. Check out this inmate climbing up the wall to make his escape. It was a weird position, and if his hand slipped, he would face-plant hard. But this guy climbed like he had glue on his hands and successfully managed to escape the prison. Number 4. Stinky Spot. This juvenile, chased by a cop for vandalizing a home, isn't an amateur at hiding. He opens a trash can, squeezes in, and disappears. The confused cop walks right past the trash can, asking bystanders if they saw any kid running. For 30 minutes, the kid stays hidden in the trash can, waiting for the coast to clear. If you are thinking that staying in such a small, dirty place for this long is impressive, take a look at what's inside. The trash can was full of baby diapers. This kid was so determined not to get caught that he stayed in a stinky mess that would make anyone else throw up. Number 5. Houdini escape. The cops arrested a 30-year-old woman for theft and handcuffed her to the wall in a holding cell. With the tightest setting possible, they figured she wasn't going anywhere. But this 97-pound woman had other plans. After just 60 seconds of struggle, she slips her hand free and casually walks out of the police station through an emergency exit without anyone noticing. All she had to do was call someone to bail her out. But some people just love the thrill of an illegal escape. Number 6. Cruiser heist. When this 20-year-old wanted fugitive crashes during a police chase, he was not ready to give up driving. He manages to slip away from the police, falls down, but scrambles to a police cruiser just in time. Before the cop can do something to stop him, he takes off on his new ride, leaving the officers standing there, probably questioning their career choices as they watch the guy speed away. Number 7. Prepared. Chasing a Volvo SUV, the Lithuanian police thought it was going to be just another high-speed pursuit. Boy, were they wrong. The suspect pulls off a smoky escape trick with the car exhaust. Not enough? He then tosses a bunch of spikes on the road, trying to puncture the police car's tires. This guy was prepared for this moment to pull out his antics like he is James Bond, but without the Hollywood budget. Number 8. Recovery. Most criminals regret their actions when they hear their sentence, but this guy was not in the mood to wait around for that. While being transported to the courthouse when they reach the entrance, the man in the wheelchair makes a miraculous recovery. He gets up, jumps off the railing, and bolts. The cop tries to chase him, but with his newfound leg power, the man sprints away, loses the officer, and even hails a cab like a free man, Talk about a dramatic exit. Number 9. Trapped. After arriving at the prison garage and with the heavy door closing down, the police officers thought they could finally relax. But taking their eyes off the suspect in the back seat was a rookie mistake. This guy decides to make a run for it, ducking under the closing door like an Indiana Jones movie. He escapes just in time, leaving the officers trapped behind the door. Now they have to wait for the door to completely close, then slowly open again, giving our escape artist plenty of time to vanish. Number 10. Wrong Honda. In a police chase, it's all about the driver's skills and nerves, and this Honda driver had both. The cop initiates a traffic stop for an unreadable paper tag, but the guy takes off, speeding past 110 miles per hour. The cop is right on his tail, but the suspect swerves from the left lane to the exit on the right at high speed. Approaching a red light, he maneuvers between two stopped cars, breaking the signal at lightning speed. Before the officer can follow, the dude is long gone. The cop keeps speeding, but it's too late. The guy's vanished into the night. Number 11. Trickster. Sometimes criminals can outrun the cops, but shaking off those pesky helicopters is another story. This suspect, though, had a trick up his sleeve. Spotting an overhead bridge and a car behind him that looked just like his, he slows down. The innocent driver emerges from the other side of the bridge, and the helicopter locks onto him, mistaking him for the suspect. Meanwhile, the real criminal drives right past, and the chopper's camera stays fixed on the innocent guy who just pulled into a gas station. Simple, but genius. Number 12. Fence Hopper. Diego Martinez was being escorted to the prisoner bus after being found guilty of making terrorist threats and battery. While his hands were cuffed, his feet were free, and he used them well. As soon as he crossed the railing on the ramp, he made a break for it, slipping out of the officer's grasp. Both deputies ran after Martinez, but one decided it was better to stay back and prevent any other inmates from making a run for it. In the parking lot, Martinez kept a significant gap between himself and the pursuing deputy. With his handcuffs still on, he managed to hop the fence and make a clean escape, at least temporarily. He was later captured, adding more time to his sentence. Number 13. Donuts. This isn't some scene from a Fast and Furious movie where the heroes are doing donuts on the freeway. Nope, these are actual suspects being pursued by the cops. After shaking them off, they decide to put on a show with their impressive drifting skills, entertaining everyone around. They maneuver through traffic, taking wild turns and driving on the shoulder. When a TMZ tour van blocks its way, one of them chucks something at it. Then they reverse, make their way around, and show up in a neighborhood like rock stars, chatting with people and even taking selfies. Now that's a legendary way to end a pursuit. Number 14. Shackles. In a provincial court building in Thailand, criminals were waiting for their verdict. But the two guys in the front row, involved in a narcotics operation, are not ready to spend time in prison. When one of them sees the officer back turned, he knows he only has to get past the one guard at the gate. With heavy shackles around his ankles, he gets up and dashes to the door. The officers react, but after a light struggle, he manages to get out. While the rest chase him, one guard stays back to hold off the other criminals. When the guard tries to block the gate, the second man headbutts him like a bull, nailing him to the wall and making his escape. The guy managed to break free even with numerous guards and shackled criminals. Number 15. Mysterious Sprint.
Now the guy who started running during a traffic stop, just like Forrest Gump.
During a routine traffic stop for speeding through a stop sign, an officer got a surprise when the man got out of the car, threw his backpack, and ran like Forrest Gump. Finding the guy's sprint amusing, the officer just told him to keep running. The officer checked the backpack and found random items like a sandwich and a flashlight, nothing illegal. So why was this guy running? Only he knows. Number 16. 3 times. Meet Larry, the guy so well known by the police they are on a first-name basis, but he ignores them like they are some NPCs in a video game. He starts his shenanigans outside a bar, and the police are instantly on his tail because he is banned from driving and bars. Larry pretends to pull over just to speed off again. Classic move. Next, they spot him in an alley. When the cops approach, Larry reverses the car and drives away, completely unfazed by the guns pointed at him. 3rd time's the charm, right? Not for these cops. They respond to a disturbance call at a bar, and who do they find? Larry. When an officer tries to talk to him, Larry denies his name and starts running. He trips, gets up, trips again, and the police catch him. He takes off his shirt to slip away, trips again, gets up, gets tased, and somehow still makes it to his car. With luck like that, Larry should be buying lottery tickets. Just when you think it's over, a woman starts screaming, trying to defend Larry, who's been dodging the cops for days. Guess some folks just have a soft spot for repeat offenders. Number 17. Reverse. Even if you have seen plenty of police chases, this one will stand out. This guy is driving away from the cops while facing them. Yes, he is reversing in a police pursuit. He's on a one-way street going the wrong way, but since he's facing the right direction, is it wrong? You have got to admit, he's got some mad reversing skills, managing 30 miles per hour like a pro. When he reaches another intersection, he skillfully turns, making the pursuit look like a normal one again. Number 18. Window diver. An officer shows up at the house of a burglary suspect with multiple arrest warrants, but this guy isn't planning on surrendering. When he finds himself cornered in a room, he does something wild. He dives out of the window head first. The cops can't believe it, but the pursuit isn't over. They quickly catch up with him, entering another apartment complex, and once again, he jumps out of a glass window like he's some kind of superhero. Dr. Break. Donald Nisley arrives at a prison garage with his fellow inmates and quickly realizes the guards aren't exactly detail-oriented. As they herd the others inside, he sneaks behind the van and the officers just head in, leaving him alone in the garage. Nisley does a quick round, looking for an escape, and discovers the cops not only forgot about him, but also left an unlocked van with the keys in the ignition. He jumps in, and he's not going to look around for the button to open the door. He floors the van through the garage door and makes his escape. The cops only realize what happened when they hear the crash. Now they have one less inmate, a busted garage door, and one missing van. Nice work, guys. Number 21. Shapeshifter. This guy is on a routine inmate call when he suddenly jumps out of a small window opening like a cat. It wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision, it was a well-orchestrated plan involving a lot of family love. His mom gives him the green light over the phone, another inmate distracts the deputy inside, his girlfriend's stepdad distracts another deputy outside, and his girlfriend waits a few blocks away to pick him up. It's an incredible plan with perfect execution, straight out of an action movie. Number 22. Helper. Keep an eye on the guy in the Burberry cap. He's waiting for his 17-year-old friend, who just got sentenced to 21 weeks in prison for stealing a phone. As his friend bolts out of the courtroom, this guy hits the button to open the gate, giving his buddy a clear runway to make the escape. The 4 officers in hot pursuit don't even glance at the accomplice. While they are chasing the teenager, the friend casually strolls out of the building. The outside camera shows the teen is too fast for the officers, who eventually give up, while the accomplice just walks right past them. Turns out, he did all this because he wanted to play snooker with his friend and wasn't keen on waiting 21 weeks for that. Number 23. Fly. This base jumper is all set to make his epic jump from a bridge when a cop shows up and asks him to step away. But our guy realizes, what's the cop going to do if he jumps? Nothing, right? So he gets up and leaps. Kudos to the cop for for not grabbing him or doing something that could lead to danger. Sometimes, you just gotta let the guy do his thing. Number 24. Bathroom break. Leaving doors unlocked is a bad idea anywhere, but in a prison, it's downright disastrous. A police officer entered the facility and left the door open. After a quick chat, he moved to another door and repeated the same mistake. Tori T. Smith, staying vigilant, watched the officer's careless behavior. She quickly made an excuse to use the restroom and casually walked out the doors like she had been given a free pass. She then sprinted for the exit, hopped the fence, and successfully escaped, all thanks to one careless officer. Number 25. Rescue. After an intense standoff, this suspect jumps into the water and pretends to drown. Rescue workers toss him a floating device to pull him back to shallow water, but it's all a trick. He lets go of the device and starts swimming again. Nice prank, and while he might have fooled cops for a moment, he wasn't a fast swimmer and the water wasn't that deep. The officers just ran towards him and ended his escape attempt. Number 26. Acrobat. This isn't some parkour enthusiast stunt, it's a dangerous woman on the run from the police. The chase starts with her driving at insane speeds, sometimes on the wrong side of the road. When she hits a street with exits surrounded by cops, she and her male passenger split up. She climbs onto a roof, and when there's no easy escape, she takes a running leap to the next roof, then jumps onto the hood of a car, not caring about the owner's feelings. After a few more daring fence jumps, she reunites with her partner. They might be terrible, but they are a match made in outlaw heaven. Number 27. Mockery. Running from the cops is one thing, but doing stunts in the process? That's next-level mockery. This biker, hitting over 100 miles per hour, decides to let go of the handlebars and stand on the moving bike, entertaining everyone tuned in to the high-speed chase. If that wasn't enough, he even flips the bird to the cops chasing him and stops for a moment to put on his earbuds. After a few more stunts, he finally decides he's had enough fun for the day, pulls up at a gas station, and calmly surrenders, knowing he has achieved his goal of putting on a show. Number 28. Bike path. This guy is being chased by two cop cruisers and, unable to outrun them, comes up with a brilliant plan. He drives his car onto a fenced bike pathway. His car gets stuck, but that's not a problem since the cops are stuck too, with no option to open their doors and get out. The first cop cruiser is wedged in, trying to reverse and go forward, while the second cruiser, seeing the situation, quickly pulls back to avoid getting stuck. By the time the cops figure out how to get out of this mess, the guy, with his narrower car, will probably be long gone. Number 29. Tricks. This guy didn't trick the police officer. He performed a trick for them to prove he was sober. Pulled over by the police, he had some unusual stuff in his car and pockets. He claimed it was just magic equipment, and with a license plate that said juggler, he offered to juggle for the officers, on the condition they record it for him on his cell phone. Flawlessly, he juggled, impressing the officers so much they forgot why they had stopped him and let him go. Whether he was under the influence or not, this guy used his tricks to get out of a ticket for his broken taillight. Number 30. Little tilt. During a high-speed chase, this guy exits the freeway and encounters unwanted traffic. But he is not about to let these cars aid the cops in busting him. He maneuvers to the left corner, makes his car tire climb up the embankment, and gets across like a NASCAR racer. He manages to get past all those cars, leaving the cops to figure out how to navigate the traffic to catch up with him. Number 31. Goodbye. What happens when the police try to pull over a bike designed for off-road and dirt tracks? The quickest escape. This guy, not thrilled about the cops blaring their sirens at him, makes a U-turn and finds a small unpaved pathway to make his getaway. The way he effortlessly evades the cops probably bruises their egos and explains why most officers aren't fans of bikers. Number 32. Bush's hideout. This suspect led cops on a high-speed chase for over 100 kilometers across 2 counties. When one of the patrol units finally managed to execute a pit maneuver, sending the car off the road, you would think that would be the end. But nope. The suspect quickly got out of the car and hid in the bushes. While different units, including a special armed unit, were trying to locate him, he ran out from the other side and made a dash for a police car. And just like that, the second chase began. The way he popped out of the bushes was like a cartoon sketch where everyone was busy in one spot, leaving all other escape routes wide open. Number 33. Star. This guy spots a car parked with the keys inside and the door wide open. But he is no greedy thief, he's a clever guy who knows what's up. He hops in, drives away, and leaves the door open, knowing it's a bait car that the police can automatically lock. He drives around, laughing, aware he's being chased. When bystanders try to warn him, he tells them he already knows it's a bait car. When the police finally show up to arrest him, he laughs it off and gives in without resistance. When the show host asks why he did it, knowing it was a bait car and being filmed, he says he just wanted to be a star.
Well, why'd you take the car then?
I don't know. I want to be a star, I guess.
Well, that brings our journey of criminals making fools out of cops. Which one of these clips did you find most interesting, or do you have a story of people outsmarting cops to tell? I would love to hear it in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you get notified when we post new videos just for you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.